Your thoughts on the England team to play New Zealand? I'm pretty happy. Should we get into this one? Leave your comments in the comments section. And there you go. There's Eddie Jones's 23-man squad to take on the All Blacks at Twickenham. Got a few changes. You've got Maro Itoje playing second row. Eddie Jones picking someone in the position he plays in primarily. Okay, good. But he has shifted Sam Simmonds from number 8 to the blindside flank. So we can talk about that. And in the back line, we have got Joe Thockiner-Singer out, Jack Knoll coming in, and then it's as you were. Except for obviously the one, such an obvious thing that he was going to do, that I haven't even mentioned it. Manu Tuilagi comes back in at outside centre with Guy Porter onto the bench. I'm happy with this. Let's talk about the pack first. Maro Itoje is a lock. And I understand if Courtney Lawes was available, I'm okay with him playing at 6. He's a British and Irish Lion at 6. He's proven himself for England at 6. I think he basically is a 6 now rather than a second row. But just because Courtney Lawes is a good line-out option and is injured doesn't mean you should put someone who's not as in an inferior version of Courtney Lawes in place of Courtney Lawes. Let's pick people for what they can do. And Maro Itoje is the world's best lock. Him or Eben Etzebeth. So put him in at lock. And Sam Simmonds, who had a great game at number 8, comes in. And, it's interesting how the balance of the back row is going to work. Because Tom Curry's going to hit rucks and be a nuisance at the breakdown all day. But Sam Simmonds is going to have to do a bit of that work. Because Billy Vunipola's primarily a ball-carrying threat. And the two flankers pay that tax. They do a lot of the work that Billy Vunipola doesn't. And I just worry, is that going to take something away from Sam Simmonds' game? I hope England have lots of possession and this team actually suggests that we're going to keep the ball and play with the ball, because when you've got two ball carriers in your back row like Sam Simmonds and Billy Vunipola, I want to see him go for it. Pleased to see Jack Van Portfleet back at fly half. Got to mention Owen Farrell. His 100th cap, much maligned, but never ever by me. I think the guy is world class and I absolutely love him. That little smirk before the World Cup semi-final in 2019, that alone makes him a hero in my book. But he's a fantastic player. He continues at 12. Manu Tuilagi coming back in. And New Zealand will probably still be having nightmares about Tuilagi's impact on that first half in the Rugby World Cup semi-final. So they will be fearful of him. That is for sure. And then a familiar looking back three. But when you look at New Zealand, some names that won't be totally familiar to rugby fans in the Northern Hemisphere, like Talea on the wing. Papali's starting to have some breakout games for the All Blacks and he's looking really good. A really, really impressive bench, actually. Perinara was a game changer last week, but Havili and Lynette Brown, Sototu, and the like. That's a really strong bench. I want to deny New Zealand the ball a little bit because I'm worried about some of their strike runners. They've got talent all over their back line. It's pretty frightening, actually. And Aaron Smith at 9, backed up by Perinara. They've got the brains trust and experience there that I think concerns me. But what I did, just to finish this off, is I've made a combined 15. If I had access to all of the players on the field on Saturday, what team would I pick? And I'd love to know what you think of this, because that's where I've gone. And it does indicate where maybe the balance of power for this one does lay and what the pitfalls and traps are for both teams. And, I mean, there were 3 English players in the pack that were absolute certs. Ellis Genge, Maro Itoje and Tom Curry. Ardie Savea is awesome. Brodie Retallick, absolute brilliant. And Retallick and Itoje's like a dream lock combination. They've got all bases covered there. Cody Taylor got the nod at 2 for his ball playing. I have to say, actually, it's only when you come to select this and you've got 46 players available to pick from and you're thinking, I'm not that excited by the others. It's only then that you realise that these are 2 teams in transition and not at the level that they need to be to win a World Cup this time next year. So those, I think I mentioned 5 or 6, those 6 players pick themselves. But then Papali, I've shifted him across the back row. I was weighing up Sam Simmons. He's too much like Ardy Surveyor, so I just needed a bit more of a physical presence. But I think there would be better back rows in other combinations of teams you could pick. And the same goes for the tight head prop position. Lomax is a relatively new player at international level. Well, I think he's got 20 caps under his belt, but tight head prop for England is a big concern area for me. We do not have depth. Kyle Sinclair or Will Stewart gets injured, and we're in a bit of a pickle. The back line, I think Owen Farrell's the best fly half in the world. He happens to be the best 12 in England as well, so he gets that shirt and gets accommodated there. But only him and Jack Noel have made it into the back line. And it's there that you see the advantage that New Zealand are going to have going into this game on Saturday. When they get opportunities, New Zealand's ability to convert and make them count could be what wins them the game. And I think it's also why he was interviewed after the weekend, and Sam Simmons emphasised how important the set piece was for England and how he felt that could actually be where they win the game. And I think you start to see why here. England have got to win this game physically and up front, because what New Zealand can do behind the pack is absolutely terrifying. England have got great players there, but their attack isn't totally coherent and ticking as they would like it to just now. So New Zealand's backs scare the living daylights out of me. I would love that back line as a 7 men. But as it is, I think we're in for an absolute corker. My prediction is going to be tight. I think England will shade it. England 22. No. England 27, New Zealand 22. There we go. I've said it. I've jinxed it. Sorry in advance, because I'm never right. What do you think? Let me know.